Coming up on Cronkite News, honoring an Arizona hero, how Lori Piestewa was remembered today.
Plus, Arizona teachers are encouraging lawmakers to increase school funding after money was approved last year for K through 12. Why the Arizona Education Association says it's not enough.
And later, the Milwaukee Brewers have their own support system in Freddy Peralta. Find out what television character he embodies.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Jonah Krell.
And I'm Lydia Curry. Thank you for joining us.
20 years ago today, Lori Piestewa was killed in an ambush while serving in Iraq.
She is the first Native American woman to be killed while serving on foreign soil. Reporter Tabitha Bland is out at Piestewa Peak, which is named after her.
Here at Piestewa Peak this morning at sunrise, they remembered her dedication, her legacy, and the sacrifice that she made. I talked to her family and watched the ceremony. The ceremony was filled with dancing and singing, but also silence, to honor and to remember Lori Piestewa and the sacrifice that she made 20 years ago today.
Her name was Lori, synonymous with glory.
Lori was, oh my gosh, such a huge part of my life that I met her in 2002. And then, of course, we deployed in 2003. She was my roommate, which then became kind of my best friend because literally we spent every waking moment together. Where you saw one of us, you saw the other.
Synonymous with glory.
Lori and I were in a Humvee together, along with my first sergeant in the front or in the passenger seat in this Humvee. And along the way, we ended up stopping and picking up 2 other soldiers. I just remember, traveling with her at high speeds, trying to dodge in and out of bullets whizzing at us until eventually we were hit by an RPG, and that hit us on the right side of the vehicle.
I was 4, and that's when she passed away. But growing up, she was just genuine and kind, and she was always the ideal mother that you always want to have.
It was such a special bond to be able to meet someone like Lori because she has impacted my life in so many ways.
Her sacrifice is something that should be remembered.
It's still extremely difficult to know that your best friend didn't make it back out of there alive with you. That was her purpose, of making sure that we are all a family, no matter who you are or where you come from.
Right, first class, Lori Piestewa.
This ceremony brought together many groups of people to honor Lori Piestewa and other fallen soldiers. Now, this peak is named after her so that every person who steps foot on it can remember the sacrifice that she and other fallen soldiers have made. In Phoenix, Cronkite News, Tabitha Bland.
What a great story. Thank you so much for sharing Lori's memory with us, Tabitha. And March is Women's History Month. This year, the theme is celebrating women who tell our stories.
And according to the National Women's History Alliance, they will encourage the recognition of women who have been active in all forms of media and storytelling. In 1980, President Jimmy Carter was the first to issue a presidential proclamation declaring the week of March 8th as National Women's History Week. In 1987, Congress passed a law declaring March as Women's History Month. This year, 3 women will be honored for their leadership, hard work, determination, and dedication to the labor movement. One of them is Marisol Garcia, president of the Arizona Education Association.
I mean, to me, being honored by, especially by an association of retired labor activists, means that I'm doing right by the work that they started, that they acknowledge and know that, the movement is in safe hands.
Do you know that the Constitution does not explicitly guarantee rights to everyone based on sex? The Equal Rights Amendment was created to ensure women in particular have the same rights as men. But Arizona is one of just 12 states that have not ratified the Equal Rights Amendment. Alexia Stanbridge is in the newsroom to explain the complications surrounding it.
In order for the Equal Rights Amendment to become part of the Constitution, 3/4 of the states, or 38 states, must ratify it. After first being passed by Congress in 1972, 35 states ratified the ERA amendment, then 2 more followed by 2018. Finally, Virginia ratified the amendment in 2020, making it the 38th state. However, the ratification deadlines set by Congress have expired, and some states have acted to revoke their earlier approval. In a press conference held yesterday by the ERA Coalition, state legislators across the country called on Congress to remove the deadline. Arizona Representative Nancy Gutierrez says the state has a long history with the Equal Rights Amendment.
I want to champion this in Arizona. We have been entering bills every session for the past 100 years, and they don't get put on committee in Arizona. We are one representative and senator away from a majority in both houses.
Now, opponents of the bill say the ERA would overturn laws beneficial to women, like special accommodations for pregnant women and military draft or frontline combat exemptions.
They're claiming that we can ratify this after the deadline. And even, as I said, Justice Ginsburg on the Supreme Court said, no, you have to pass it again. But they're trying to claim that because they probably wouldn't be able to go back and get the 38 states that they need.
Representative Gutierrez attempted to have the full state house vote on a bill to ratify the amendment yesterday. She was unsuccessful. At the Google touchscreen, Alexia Stambridge, Cronkite News.
The state legislature is starting to negotiate the state's budget with Governor Katie Hobbs. Over the next few weeks, they'll be making decisions on millions of dollars.
One group of educators wants to make sure they get a piece of the pie. Cronkite News reporter Connor McGill is at the Capitol with more on what teachers are asking for. Connor?
Arizona teachers are sounding off the alarms across the state. Here at the Capitol, they're trying to encourage lawmakers to rectify current school funding. Now, it was just 1 year ago when lawmakers approved a record-breaking $1 billion for K-12 education. But the Arizona Education Association says they need more help.
Given that healthcare is so incredibly high, given that you probably have student debt, given that even rent right now is skyrocketing, you're going to spend all of your paycheck every 2 weeks on those things. And we're still trying to get to food and, utilities and, just basic living items.
The AEA is proposing their own education budget, asking for $1.8 billion for things like teacher salary, healthcare, and full-day kindergarten across the state.
I'm very hopeful that it can happen. Will it happen? I don't know, because there seems to be a stubborn streak and a lack of, I don't know, a certain resentment or something that is preventing our lawmakers.
Parts of the AEA's budget has been approved somewhat in initiatives by lawmakers, but the group is relying on Katie Hobbs, who has sided with education for quite some time. In Phoenix, Connor McGill, Cronkite News.
Thank you, Connor. And though many teachers love what they do, there's a lot of commotion about the pay. Today marks the 3rd day that the Los Angeles Unified School District support staff has been on strike to call for better pay.
The support staff consists of people like teachers' aides, cafeteria workers, and school bus drivers who barely make enough to live in LA, the 4th most expensive city in the world.
The National Education Association shared data last year showing that the average salary for a full-time school support staff member was a little under $33,000 a year. Union leaders for the strike are calling for a 30% raise, but the school district claims they have already tried to offer 23%, but the union refused to negotiate. Classes have been canceled the past 3 days because teachers are standing in solidarity with their support staff for the duration of the strike.
And up next, we travel to Los Angeles to take a closer look at the LA River, where there's been an effort underway to revive sections that have been long forgotten.
Plus, beautiful skies out there right now, but what will be the weekend this spring? Your weather report is up next.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Discover new favorites from PBS and locally produced shows from your station.
Sign in and start streaming today.
Welcome back. The LA River in Los Angeles is full of water now, but it's usually bone dry, making it a pretty undesirable place to visit.
And there is an effort underway to change all of that. Cameron Dean explains in today's Cronkite News LA report.
I'm Cameron Dean, and this is your Cronkite News LA report. With all the storms this season, conservationists are hoping locals will take a new look at resources right in their backyard, the LA River. Normally, it's a flood control channel with a trickle of water, not unlike some canals in Arizona. But lately, it's a raging torrent, all 51 miles of it. Most of the LA River is paved, but there's a section north of downtown LA where trees, greenery, and wildlife are thriving. Recently, a group celebrated this section of the river with food, fellowship, and storytelling. The hope is that this section becomes the model for the future of LA River. Next, I recently went out to visit ASU's lacrosse team when they came to play USC. The team has faced adversity, one that comes with weaving several players into the fold, but there is no shortage of enthusiasm.
ASU Women's Lacrosse has put together some great seasons in past years, but many things have changed for this squad. With new faces and a completely new staff, adjusting to this revamped roster of Sun Devils will take some time.
First year as head coach, building and creating and hiring a whole new staff and pulling together, a different culture and trying to take this team to the next level. Defensively, I think not getting beat the same way multiple times. Once we've seen it, making those in-game adjustments and being able to step up and play that play and make an offense have to score in different opportunities.
But the team's strength is in their camaraderie and chemistry. No matter where you are on the field, you are going to hear this team. It must be why their ambitions are still high for this season.
As an identity, family and energy, and I think you can see that on the sidelines. Regardless of a score of a game, we're going to bring it, and we're going to do it together. And I think that's the fun part. Now it's putting the successes in a line and really running away with it. We want to be Pac-12 champs. I think that's it's going to be a grind. It's Pac-12 is a dual game, so it's a long season, but it's an exciting one, and we're ready to get back on top of it.
Good chemistry is one thing. Capitalizing on it is another. And after a 5-game road trip early in the season, building consistency will be a little easier at home.
I think as a captain, that's something I'm going to try to get, the younger girls to build that on-field chemistry. I don't think our record shows what we can bring to the table, but, I'm excited to see where the rest of the season goes with the team.
That does it for our Cronkite LA report. From Los Angeles, I'm Cameron Dean.
And that is just too bad about ASU's loss there in LA, but this morning it started off pretty chilly, but thankfully we saw temperatures rise a bit here in Phoenix.
Lydia, I think we're getting over the hill, sunshine ahead on the horizon. Let's cross our fingers. And Jack Wu is in the Cronkite Weather Center with our spring forecast. Jack, what do you got?
Well, Jonah, we definitely are getting over the hump and into springtime. As you can see, 66 degrees is going to be the temperature on your way home, decreasing lower all the way until the end of the night when we're sitting in the high 50s. Now, we will also be seeing some lower temperatures tomorrow. For our lows, let's start in Flagstaff, a low of 22. Should be able to keep all that snow at Snowball on the mountain, and you can get lift tickets for as low as $62 for tomorrow, so get those while you can. Going a little more south, Sedona seeing a low of 37, and the Prescott-Payson area seeing lows of 31. Bringing it back to the valley, 50 degrees is the low for Phoenix, and Gila Bend is having a low of 46. Now, we are seeing some springtime weather, just not tomorrow, unfortunately, especially in our highs. Same as today, high of 68 in Phoenix, and in Gila Bend is breaking 70. But going back to Sedona, Prescott area, we're seeing highs in the low 50s, and Flagstaff seeing a low of 39 while you're out there on the slopes. Now, coming to the 8-day forecast, like I said, it's going to be a lot of the same tomorrow and throughout the rest of the weekend. We will be seeing some breezy conditions tomorrow, gusts up to 20 miles an hour, but other than that, it's going to be highs in the high 60s and lows in the mid 40s. But we are seeing some really high temperatures next week. 82 degrees on Tuesday is tied for the highest temperature this year so far. Now, the rest of the week is going to be in the high 70s for our highs and in the high 40s and low 50s for our lows. We're going to throw it back to Jonah and Lydia, but I'm Jack Booth from the Cronkite Weather Center.
I'm Jack Pearson. Coming up after the break, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report. D-backs outfielder Alek Thomas swapped his Diamondbacks jersey for Team Mexico in the World Baseball Classic. He shares what it was like to play in his home stadium for another country.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Discover new favorites from PBS and locally produced shows from your station.
Sign in and start streaming today.
Welcome back to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Jack Pearson. Corbin Carroll has had a dynamic preseason during spring training. He and the Diamondbacks are hoping to continue this momentum for years to come. Carroll and the Diamondbacks have agreed to an 8-year, $111 million contract extension. The deal is the largest guarantee for a player who has appeared in less than 100 games in the major leagues. The 22-year-old was drafted by the D-backs in the first round of the 2019 draft. As for his thoughts on the big contract, he says he understands the trust the team has for him.
This is a place where I feel very, very supported, both on and off the field, and so, I don't think anything's necessarily changed for me there. Obviously, they've put some financial backing behind that now, but I want to go out there and be the same guy and the same player, not trying to do too much, and not put any, like you said, like added pressure on myself. Just go play baseball.
Meanwhile, pitcher Merrill Kelly is back from the World Baseball Classic, where he started the final game against Japan despite lasting only 1 1/3 innings and giving up 2 runs in the Team USA loss. Kelly says it was an incredible experience.
If you would have asked me if I thought I'd be on that team, much less, starting the championship game against Japan, if you would have asked me that 5 years ago, even 4 years ago when I first got here, I'd never in a million years thought that would even be an opportunity for me. So the fact that not only got to be a part of it, but be, somewhat, at least attempted to be a big part of it, it was definitely special.
D-backs outfielder Alek Thomas also had a good run in the WBC playing for Team Mexico. Mexico shocked everyone, beating Team USA at Chase Field and then making it to the semifinals. Thomas says it was a run for the memory books.
I'm definitely glad I got to experience this. I mean,
not everyone gets to play in front of that many people. Packed out crowd every day, and it was for us, really, so it felt like it was a home game no matter where we were.
Season 3 of the hit show Ted Lasso came out last week, and it got us thinking about a Brewers player who reminds us of a certain Ted Lasso character. Cronkite sports reporter Nicholas Petrisky gives us a look at the Danny Rojas of the MLB.
With his outgoing personality and his love for the game of baseball, some people might call Freddy Peralta the real-life version of Ted Lasso's Danny Rojas. Peralta is heading into his 6th season in Milwaukee. And for those around the Brewers organization, they know that he is sure a spirited fella.
I didn't get to really meet him until last year, but I don't know, just a great guy, great competitor, just a good dude, brings smiles to everyone.
The 2021 All-Star has loved the game since he was a little kid, never thinking about what the bigger picture might be for his baseball career.
When I started playing this game, I had no idea about how it feels like to become a professional player. I just play because I love it, and that's what I still do.
Growing up in the Dominican Republic, Peralta credits his jovial presence to his family, and he has never shied away from who he is as a person.
Yes, this is who I am. It's how I feel. I think that my family is like that too, my mom. So always with a smile on the face, and that made me feel good. I don't try to do it, it's just natural. And, it's how I am.
So what keeps this real-life Danny Rojas motivated to play at such a high level? That answer is simple. Baseball itself is enough motivation for the man they call Fastball Freddy.
Play this game is a motivation. I just go to the field every day, and the day that I pitch, I just try to enjoy the game. But I don't think about something specific. I just play the game because I love it.
By being himself, Peralta has springboarded into becoming a leader in the Brewers clubhouse, and his attitude is appreciated by Craig Counsell.
Everybody that comes into contact with Freddie, can say their day gets better, and he's a great example. That's leadership.
Whether it's his fastball, his outgoing personality, or even his unofficial title of clubhouse DJ, many things make this real-life Rojas a role model for his fellow Brewers. In Phoenix, Nicholas Petrisky, Cronkite Sports.
To basketball now. Wednesday was a tough night for head coach Monty Williams and the Phoenix Suns. The Suns fell to the Lakers 122-111, and after the game, Williams was pretty red hot about the officiating.
46 free throws. We're doing the same. We're attacking the rim. I'm getting explanations about we're taking too many jump shots, mid-range jump shots. We're playing a physical game. They had 27 free throws in the first half. They end up with 46. When do you see a game with 46 free throws for one team? That's just not right. I don't care how you slice it. It's happening to us too much. Other teams are reaching, other teams are hitting, and we're not getting the same call. And I'm tired of it.
Monty not happy. UCLA, however, is happy to be in the Sweet 16. The second-seeded Bruins tip off against 3-seed Gonzaga today in the NCAA men's tournament. Dylan Andrews, a Compass Prep High School alum out in Chandler, is playing for the Bruins. He shares how his time in the Valley helped prepare him for this sweet, sweet experience.
Just going there, man, I just wanted to be ready to come to play at UCLA, and I felt like that was the best move for me to be able to play on the prep level, to play against teams like IMG, Montverde, Link. It's so many schools to name, Oak Hill, but I felt like just preparing for that level would help me to be ready for this and to be ready for where I am right now, March Madness, man.
That's going to wrap it up for your Cronkite Sports Report. Back to Lydia and Jonah at the desk.
Thanks, Jack. And attention, peanut butter lovers, there might be some debate on the horizon.
A new classification for a jelly's other half has just been announced, making me a little bit hungry. Coming up after the break, the entity that just weighed in on what kind of substance peanut butter really is, and it might surprise you.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Discover new favorites from PBS and locally produced shows from your station.
Sign in and start streaming today.
In a tweet, TSA posted a graphic with a jar of peanut butter saying, quote, "A liquid has no definitive shape and takes a shape dictated by its container. Whether it's smooth or crunchy, be sure this liquid is 3.4 ounces or less and sealed in a quart-sized plastic bag in your carry-on bag for happy snacking once you're through airport security. For those of you who can't go without a larger portion of the sweet and savory spread, jars of peanut butter are allowed in checked baggage." And if you don't already have plans for this weekend, we have some blockbuster news for you.
The multi-million-dollar franchise John Wick is back in theaters tomorrow with their fourth installment, John Wick 4 Returns. This seemingly invincible hitman returns to the big screen as a group of crime lords known as the High Table raise the stakes of his capture. Wick goes global and enlists the help of some old friends and foes to take down in this newest installment. But that's it for us. Thanks for watching us here on Cronkite News.